Hello students, welcome to another examiner walkthrough video from Diplomaly. Today we'll be going over a case study called ModaVista Boutique. This is a case study from Unit 4, and this is the part 1 video for this case, looking at question A. You might want to refer to the other walkthrough videos for the other parts of this question. The key syllabus content that we will look at in this video include the difference between niche market and mass market. And this syllabus content area is tested at the AO2 level, meaning that you can expect questions that range from both definition questions, okay, simple AO1 question that looks at the features, or describing, the importance or reasons or role, okay, any of those type of questions. And of course, an AO2 question where it looks at for example, the advantages and disadvantages of a business operating as a niche market or as a business with a focus on marketing towards the mass market. Okay, and this is the case study which you should have access to on our site, and you should have read this already before watching the video. And as always, it's always a good idea to take a look at the question first and then go back to the case study to see if you can find out the relevant case study information that you need to answer the question for, and whether or not you actually need to use the case study to help you answer the question. Okay, so in this case, this is a question that is a 2-marker standard definition question, okay, which is marked as either 1 mark or it's marked as 2 marks, right? And the term that you do need to define here is niche market. So in a question like this, it's a definition question. You do not need to have applications at all. Okay, so there's no reason for you to find information from the case or even use the word for example as part of your response for a definition question, because usually in the IB mark scheme, and you might come across this time and time again, is that you don't actually get credited for marks, meaning that you don't get marks rewarded to you for giving examples. So in this case, if you were to give examples of what a niche market could look like, or what examples of niche market could be in the real business world, you don't actually get marks for this. So instead of doing that, you have to always go back to the structure that you need to be able to answer for each of these different question types. Now, given that this is a definition question, usually defined questions, you do need to have 2 sentences, okay? And generally speaking, we say the ballpark figure is around 30 words to 60 words. Now, of course, you don't need to write, all 60 words. This is just a ballpark figure, a range for you to take a look at it, to help you, again, also to manage your time in the exam, because you don't want to overwrite too much for a definition question, which is only going to realistically get you 2 marks, right? So you want to make sure that you manage your time effectively in the IB exam, given that time is quite a luxury and also very important in an exam situation. So the way how you break down your 2 sentences for a definition question is, of course, your first sentence, you're going to define, okay, the term. And as you're defining the term, what you want to do is you want to highlight key aspects of what, in this case, niche market is going to talk about, right? So key aspects, or you can talk about the key features of what it is. The second sentence, instead of giving examples of what a niche market is, you can then extend the second sentence by talking about, what does a niche market aim to do? Or what does a business aim to do through, through marketing towards a niche market, for example. You can talk about, for example, maybe in the context of a different business management terminology, is to talk about the purpose of, that key terminology for the business. Okay. Or you can talk about, what is the intention of, having that, or having that BM terminology, okay, in its intention for the business, right? And sometimes you might also highlight other various key features or characteristics of that key business terminology. And usually the features and characteristics, this would be more relevant for, a definition question that looks at, for example, the types of business entity, which is from Unit 1. of your unit 1.2 rather of your syllabus. Okay, so something to keep in mind of as you're writing definition questions. So then you're not wasting time, okay? Because realistically speaking, in the exam, normally I do recommend students to spend around 2 minutes max on a definition question, okay? Any minute that you're able to save in this type of question will help you contribute to more time that you can write for your 4-marker response and also ultimately the 10-marker essay, the AO3 question at the end of the question in a section B case study or in the 10-marker essay that you write in your paper 1. So here's a walkthrough exemplar response that you can have a look at. Again, you can see clearly first sentence is conveying the key aspects of what a niche market is. So it's always a good idea to start your definition with the phrase it refers to. So state the BM term and then say it refers to, and then you highlight the key aspects of that BM terminology. So one of the things that examiners are sort of looking for in your definition is they're looking for some key words, okay, within your definition. They don't expect you to memorize the definition of any BM terminology word for word from any textbook or from your teacher's notes, but they do, and usually they don't say this, but they do look for certain keywords in your definition to make sure that you are demonstrating a full understanding of what that terminology is about. Okay, so here in this case, the keywords that you want to make sure you hit in your definition for a niche market is it is a specific and it's usually a well-defined market segment, okay? And it is usually small. So these are some of the keywords that you do want to make sure you convey in your first sentence. Now, do you need to use exactly the same word or the same phrases? The answer is no, but sometimes you might find it advantageous for you to actually just memorize some of these keywords so then you can then connect it together in the exam when you're writing a definition question like this, okay? In the second sentence, this is where you expand to talk about, going back to what I said earlier in your second sentence, is the aims, the purpose, or the intention of this key terminology. So here it says that customers within the niche market have a shared set of characteristics which makes them prone to buying a certain good or service. So here you're talking about, what a niche market is and what the intent of a niche market is for customers, because this would mean that in a niche market, they usually have a shared set of characteristics. So this would be another key word that you want to make sure you hit, right? And because of these key characteristics that they share with each other, that means they will then obviously be in the same group of customer or market segment to buy a particular good or service. Okay, so if you take a look at the mark scheme notes for the examiner, examiners are told that, you don't need to word your definition exactly with the one that I have shown you here, but generally speaking, keywords should be included in order to score the 2 marks, right? And it should be similar to the one above, okay? And in order for you to get the full 2 marks, what you do need to show is that you need to show a definition that conveys full understanding of the BM terminology, okay? And by full, it means that you're hitting at least a couple of these keywords, okay, as part of your definition. So again, always remember the AO1 definition question is all about the keywords that you need to hit, okay, in your definition. All right. So thanks for watching this video. I hope this was helpful for you. Please feel free to browse around the Diplomaly site for more resources, and I'll see you next time.